One of the topics that is not widely covered by the media is how many Africans are actually choosing to move back to Africa. The number since 2016, after the president of Ghana officially launched the year of return, continue to rise, where many Africans of the diaspora actually took advantage of this opportunity to see what the continent was really like. Why Africans are moving back? In the past, Africa has always been poorly publicized, but that's not the case anymore thanks to social media and Africans' resilience. The continent is one of the richest continents on earth and one of the best places to raise a family. I'm literally cruising in a mall in Africa. You would think it's a jungle or whatever, but look, we have everything here. See? Welcome to Africa. I think people are making it so complicated. Very, very complicated. And if you keep thinking that you need at least over $1 million before you can move back to Africa, you are making it hard for yourself. Let's just say you lived in the US for more than 5 years, or let's just take 5 years, and you made $20,000 a year. You have made more than $100,000. And just check your budget. You would see that you have spent that money. So if your goal is to go back to Africa, join everybody who moved to Ghana, Gambia, and have no intention of coming back. Like we say, those who bought the one-way ticket, you need to create a budget. A budget would give you a clear picture how you can reach your goal. One calendar year is 365 days. So putting $60 on the side every single day, time 365 days equal to 21,900. Now take that 21,900 times 5. So meaning in 5 years, you would have $109,500. This is your goal. This is your goal of you saying that, oh, by 2028, which is in 5 years, you are going to leave the US. This is how much money you can save if you only put $60 a day on the side. And I mean by not even investing that money. Maybe because you don't understand the stock market. Maybe you are afraid of investing in the stock market. Maybe you don't even want to put your money in a bank because you probably know all you would get as an interest is 0.01, which is absolutely nothing. So this is your cash underneath your pillow that you have been saving. If you do nothing else, you would still have 21,900 at the end of one calendar year. I was born in Ivory Coast and raised in Burkina Faso. There are 6 other countries in West Africa that uses the franc CFA as a currency. Let's just say I want to move to Senegal, or I want to move to Mali, Burkina Faso, or the Ivory Coast. I know $1 as I'm recording this video is 644 franc CFA. So if I saved 109,500, convert that money to the franc CFA, I would have 70,518,000 franc CFA right now in my pocket. I know the dollar doesn't stay in one place. It fluctuates. It goes up and down, if I can say it in a simple way. But there's no way $1 would go absolutely down in the 5 years to come. Some people might say, yeah, but in 5 years, there's no guarantee I would still make that same amount of money. You are absolutely right. Tomorrow the dollar can be 590 franc CFA, or after tomorrow it might even go to 655. You never know. Maybe in the 5 years to come, the dollar might go up all the way to 700. But I don't see the dollar going all the way down to 300. Absolutely not. So you can save your money and be confident that at the end of a year or at the end of the 5 years to come, you would still have enough money to move to Africa if you choose to. Maybe you don't want to live in one of those 8 countries who uses franc CFA. Maybe you want to live in Liberia, maybe you want to live in Sierra Leone, maybe you want to live in Gambia. All you really have to do is convert the dollar to the country currency, and you would see how much money you would have. You can convert your money to Ghanaian cedi, you can convert your money to the Naira, you can convert your money to the Gambian Dalasi. It depends where you want to go, but you would still have enough money. Now, going back to my case, like I said, with 109,500, if I go back home with that money, I would not take that money and buy a house. I would rent a place close to the city center or in the city center. For 300 a month, I would spend 3,600 in 1 year. If I take that 3,600 times 3, I would probably spend around 10 grand or 11 grand. Why am I doing that? I don't want to rush and just take all the money, blow up into a house. No, unless I'm just buying a condo to live in one part and rent the other part. Even that, I wouldn't do it. I would use the rest of the money. In 3 years, I'm probably sure I would figure out where to invest, put my money to work for me, because I'm not going to Africa for a short period of time. I'm going to stay. For that reason, I would take my time to see what kind of business. And I'm telling you, there's wonderful businesses growing up in Africa. And if you take your time to network with people, you will not regret. All you have to do is dig and network with people. That's why I'm saying I won't rush to build a house. No, I would rent. Many people always ask me when I talk about Africa, they always like, oh, you are so passionate about Africa. It's insane when you talk about Africa. I'm so into it. It's crazy because I still remember my first year in this country in Pennsylvania, how people would have crazy idea of where you are from. Like, Africa is just jungle, or there's lions and there's tigers. You can just go out of your house and see animals. So it's always like, oh, I want to go to Africa. When you ask them why you want to go to Africa, it's always like, oh, I want to see, animals. I want to go to the safari. It's insane. It's insane how people have a different perception. Meanwhile, where I was born, I have to pay to go to the zoo. Right? In Ghana, you're not going to go out and be like, oh, there's lions here. No, you have to go to the zoo to see animals. In the Ivory Coast, it's the same thing. In Burkina Faso, it's the same thing. In Senegal, it's the same thing. So this is a side message I just want to send to my brothers and sisters the diaspora, who never been in a continent, who wants to go and cannot find the right information. Because every time you try to type somewhere, the only thing you see is guns, children on the street, children with big belly, disaster, poverty. That's not the case. Remember, Africa is 11.73 million miles square. You can literally take the US and go drop in West Africa. You can take Japan and fit in Madagascar. You can take all the European countries and pour in the northern side of Africa. Just remember,